Hello everybody, and welcome to our MyWenc smartphone browser tutorial for liturgical ministry. So as we begin, you'll notice that the screen is in a portrait orientation. I am doing this from my smartphone. So if you have an iPhone or a Google Pixel or some other kind of Android phone, this is the tutorial for you to use the MyWenc software from your browser. So of course, an internet browser is a way that we use the internet. It could be Safari or Chrome or Firefox or any of those apps that you use to browse the internet. It is not the MyWenc app. It is an internet browser, and we're going to get to MyWenc through the browser. So I'm starting here on our parish website, stwenceslas.org, and you'll see here the home screen where Jesus is encountered, proclaimed, and shared, and a few buttons here at the bottom, including a MyWenc login button. So we are not going to spend very much time on the website itself. That's not what we're going for, but we are going to use the website as a way to access MyWenc. So I'm going to tap on that MyWenc login link, and then what I'll probably do is bookmark this URL right here, this web address, stwenc.ccbchurch.com. So the first thing I'm going to do is put in my username, and I'm going to put in my password, and I'm going to select keep me logged in for 30 days. So something else to note, if you don't know your username or your password, we can help you with that username activation or user activation, whatever you want to call it, as well as helping reset your password. So we did generate logins for everybody, but if you're unsure of what it is, you can always reach out. liturgy@stwenceslas.org. Our contact info is in the bulletin, as well as on our parish website. So then I'm going to hit login, and here I am on the home screen. So you'll see this kind of message here with a nice MyWenc graphic, a few other things here, groups that I'm part of, that you'd be part of when you're logged in. And then those three bars in the top left corner, the menu. Here it's going to look a little different for you than it is for me because I'm an administrator in the software. Mine says schedules and plans, but for you it'll say my serving. So you can see there above my giving, it says my serving. Yours will have a little heart icon next to it, so I'm going to tap on that. And here it is. So a couple things to note. At the top here we've got edit preferences. So if I tap that, a little window pops up and it says that I'm editing for myself. I can tap that drop down and see 3 family members if I want to switch between those. And then here under preferences, I'm just going to put in how I prefer to serve. So first of all, do I prefer to serve with family members? And that's checked by default. We understand that families do like to serve together, for scheduling purposes and that whole thing. And then if I go to where it says liturgical minister schedule and hit that little down arrow, that's going to expand preference times for all of the different positions. So because I'm an EMHC, it has all the EMHC positions and then all the preference times, which for me would just be 8 o'clock. If I want to change it, I just tap this little thing here, and then there's a little pop-up that pops up, and then I can change the time. So just something to note, every Mass has a start time and an end time. So if you're going to do, let's say 10 o'clock in the morning, it would be 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And do make sure that the correct day, so for me, Sunday, is selected. So that would be preferences. It could be a little tedious, especially for EMHCs, but that's just how we have it set up. So, and then for availability, this one's pretty straightforward. I'm available to serve, and there's options here. As often as needed, number of weeks per month, or specific weeks within the month, like first week and second week only, not the third or fourth or whatever. I just leave it as often as needed. I think that is kind of the default. If you're being scheduled too often, then you could change that to something else. And then finally, block out dates. That's pretty straightforward. Just the days that you're unavailable. For example, I'm unavailable twice this month. First, I was unavailable for a family vacation at the beginning of July, and then I'll be helping at a Catholic summer camp near the end of the month. So I've just blocked out those dates. And the way I do that is I just tap on a date. So if I'm unavailable July 1st, then I tap on that. It says start date Tuesday, July 1st, and then end date, and then I just pick from the list here. Now you will notice, I'm going to cancel it, and you can write a reason also, we're going on vacation or something like that. You will notice that you can only block off a month at a time. So if you're a snowbird, if you're gone for 6 months, then you would just do them in month-long chunks, and that's kind of just how it works. Okay, so that was all of our edit preferences there. I'm going to close that. And then we also have edit contact info. And this is basically a condensed form of the profile page. So I've got my first and last name, my email, and then cell phone. And I can also I tried to say upload and update at the same time. I can upload a picture and change it that way, replace, download, delete, etc. So that's something you could do. Okay, so email address. You want to leave your I'd like to receive email notifications box checked. The reason I say that is, number one, it's just good for communication. Like when we assign something to you, when you receive an assignment, we want you to know about it and to be able to fulfill that assignment. And an email message is kind of the easiest way to do that. In addition to that, when I send out the Liturgy Notes email every Friday, sometimes Thursday, I rely on this software to be able to do that. And so if you do not have email notifications checked, then you won't get that Liturgy Notes email. And that email will contain information like there's a baptism happening at Mass this weekend at this certain Mass time. There's a guest priest who's going to be there, please make sure he has what he needs, or there's a different reading that we're going to do because it's this feast day or whatever. And so for you to get those Liturgy Note emails, it's very important that this box stays checked. Otherwise, you won't know what's going on. Okay. We also have your cell phone number there, or I guess my cell phone number here with the carrier. So if I want to get text notifications, then I would just make sure that info is correct. And you also want to make sure that your carrier is correct. So for me, actually, I switched carriers and now I'm on Mint. So I'm going to scroll down and of course it's not here. So maybe it's down here somewhere. There it is, Mint Mobile. So my carrier is Mint Mobile, and I'm going to hit save in the top right corner. And now if I want to get text messages, then I could do that. So that's edit preferences and edit contact info. And now we're going to look at these two tabs here, assignments and requests and browse open position. So first, assignments and requests, we're going to see a couple different things. You'll see where it says filters. I can click there, and there's two different filters. Number one, by status. And the main status that we use is the accepted status. So pending and checked in, it doesn't really matter as much. When we give you an assignment, by default, it's accepted based on your serving preferences and your blockout dates. And then you could also see the declined ones if you want. And then you can also filter by family members. So that's something that you would just toggle by doing the check marks there. That's pretty straightforward. So that's filters. And then at the end of that bar, you can see a little calendar icon with a plus sign and a drop-down arrow. So if I press that, select the family member you want to add to your personal calendar. And I'm going to click my name. And you're going to see this window pop up. Google, Apple, Outlook, copy calendar URL. And what this does, so each of us, probably has a smartphone. I mean, you're watching this smartphone video. And you might use Google Calendar. You might use your calendar on your iPhone. You might use your Outlook calendar. And what this feature or function does is it subscribes your personal calendar to this liturgical ministry calendar that you have for your assignments. So basically what I mean is if you subscribe to this calendar, like your serving calendar, then you have one less place to look to see your assignments. So this is actually a feature that I use, that my wife and I both use, is I am subscribed to both my EMHC, I guess, and music calendar, as well as her lecture calendar. And so I can see on my personal Google Calendar when we have an assignment, which is very, very helpful. So again, it's one less place to look because I can just see, I've got, brunch. We've got brunch with friends after Mass, and at this Mass, we're EMHC and lecture, So I'm not going to go through all that, but you could just, if you use Google Calendar, just tap Google. If you use your calendar on your iPhone, click Apple. And then if you use Outlook, tap Outlook. And it's pretty straightforward to subscribe to that. One other note is that the calendar, when you're subscribed to a calendar, it pulls the events as they're scheduled, but it does it about once a day. So if you make a change in MyWenc to your serving assignment, that change won't take effect and be reflected on your calendar that you've subscribed to, like Google or iPhone or whatever, for about 24 hours. So just give it a day before you go back and check. So now let's look at the assignment itself. So this is a past one. It's from Sunday, July 13th. I was a cantor. We're talking about liturgical ministry, but I'm a musician also, so we'll just use that as the example. And it just says there that that's the assignment, so that's pretty straightforward. Now, if we go over here to Browse Open Positions, this other tab, I can see all of the open spots that are available. And you'll notice that even though my serving preferences are 8 o'clock on Sunday, my serving preference is 8 o'clock on Sunday, rather, for myself and my family, I can see 5 o'clock Mass, I can see 10 o'clock, I can see noon, and so on. So that's kind of a neat thing, is like, even though you have a particular serving preference, you can see open positions for other Masses, so that if you're, hey, free at 5 o'clock on Saturday, you can take that. So what I can do then, if I decide, hey, I'm free on Saturday the 19th at 5, I want to be EMHC 11 and help out, I'm going to tap that, and I'm going to tap Take Opportunity. And then under Assignments and Requests, I've got EMHC 11 there. And if I tap on that, I've got a few options. I can view the schedule, so I can see everybody who's scheduled for that weekend. I can decline the request, which I'm going to do in a sec because I'm not actually going to take it, or I can send a message to the scheduler, who is Pam. So I'm going to decline it, and then just press decline and close it. And you'll see there that it's now declined. And if I go back to open positions, there it is again, and it's gone from my assignments and requests. So I think that about covers it. That's a pretty kind of broad overview of serving within MyWenc. It's quite a handy tool. It's very useful even on your phone. It's a bit of a different sort of display than when you're on your computer, but this can do everything that you can do on the computer. So you can edit your preferences, your contact info, you can see your assignments, you can subscribe to this assignment calendar or your serving calendar. I think serving schedule maybe would be the best way to put it, on your personal, Google Calendar or iPhone calendar. And then of course you can see open positions and take them as well. So I hope this is helpful to you. Just on behalf of myself and Father Mike, I want to thank you for your service to the parish and to the Lord within liturgical ministry. It really does take all of us to make it as beautiful and as wonderful as it is. And so for myself, just want to say thank you for your commitment, your dedication, your love for the Lord. We hope that this tool will help more people to kind of feel in the driver's seat about their serving and their volunteering. It is a great tool. It is helpful. It does sort of reduce some of the friction of the logistics and scheduling and things like that. Just to kind of give you a little bit more control and to decide how best that it could work for you. So thank you very much. We hope this video was helpful to you. Of course, I'm happy to help by phone or in person with any of this. We can kind of troubleshoot different things together and go from there. So thank you so much for watching this, and God bless you.